There is a moment in every life when you decide to rise, to stand taller than your fear, to speak louder than your doubt, to chase the vision that sets your soul on fire. This is that moment. And here, we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire, and truths that set you free. This is Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where hope has a voice, and that voice is yours. Well, you know, I'm actually the co-host because today Brachelle is the host. And how are you, Brachelle? It's great to see you again. I'm so glad you're here because tomorrow's a very big day for you.
It is. It's life can be so beautiful, so happy, so wondrous, and also heavy and sad and confusing all at the same time. And so managing my energy and understanding where I'm at and giving myself permission for that is a game changer. And we're going to talk about that quite a bit with our guest today. Are you excited, Kevin?
I am, because we get to talk about the womb chakra.
Yes, we do. Well, we have Cindy Ambika Lindsay here with us today. She has a website that happens to be called wombhealing.com. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So welcome, Cindy. How are you?
I'm feeling wonderful today. Any day I get to talk about the womb chakra and its magical effects to let you live a life from your soul energy and to be able to give that to your children so that they live their lives from that for their whole lives. I am a happy camper, so I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is a lot of men say that we're the dominant ones and we are responsible. But I got to tell you that, and a lot of guys don't even look at this or think about it, but without the womb, there wouldn't be no us.
Yeah. Everybody has to come through a womb, Kevin. You don't get away from it in this. There might be some new scientific thing that I don't know of, but until now, everybody's had to go through that womb chakra and through that womb of their mother. And that is a place of sheer creation power that we can tap into. And for a woman who has carrying a child in her womb, she can give, with special processes, pure enlightenment energy to the soul of that child, so that that child comes into this world ready to meet all the stuff that happens in life from a place of the peace of God that is in them, their soul light, that light that is pure light and vibration, that is naturally loving, naturally compassionate, naturally able to forgive and become clear and feel the truth within. Imagine a world full of people who came into this world with that fully activated in them, so that everything they meet in this lifetime, they meet from a state of that beauty of their own being.
I love that.
You know, Cindy, being a guy, and it wasn't until I really got close with Rochelle, even my wife, we never even talked about it. But I had no idea how much the womb influences the day-to-day life and the month-to-month life and the year-to-year life of the typical female who carries the womb. It is remarkable, and we don't have that opportunity. Although we're going to talk about that a little bit later, how a guy can access that. But it's amazing to me that we have no earthly idea how much that affects a woman's total biology and her energy and everything about her. And so healing the womb for a woman is a very, very big deal, isn't it?
It's absolutely imperative for every woman. I don't care if you have a disease structure going there or a fertility problem going there. You are probably not automatically connecting into the true power of the womb through the womb chakra. You might have a womb, but you have not found its essential nature as a connection into the creation energy of all things. Now, we naturally have that creation cycle running in us, which is the thing we feel monthly and that we deal with and so on. We naturally have that running in us. And we can naturally have children. We can naturally have a creation come inside our own bodies. Now, that right there, okay, miraculous.
Mhm.
But beyond that, that womb chakra connects you directly into the womb of all creation. The energy that created everything can be accessed in the womb chakra. And especially for women who have a womb chakra in their bodies, when they access that level energy, the energy that created everything to fuel their creations, whether that be babies and children or their life, they are superpowering the processes of their soul. They are superpowering the processes of their possibilities. It's the ultimate manifesting tool.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. And I want to dive into that. Kevin, I just have to say, if anything, maybe you guys should be a little bit jealous because you don't have that.
Well, and I was going to mention this for Shell, and then I'm going to let you run with it. But
Okay.
my wife and I had 2 children. I cannot believe how versatile and how unique the womb is, because when she was 9 months pregnant, it was like, that doesn't that hurt? And it did a little bit, but I mean, it was like the womb and the uterus, it changes shape in such a magical way to create life and then to birth a 7 or 8 or 9 pound child. It's we as men don't even we're not even close to understanding. So Rochelle, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's let's start at the bottom line because there's so much to build on and then so much I want to talk about. Cindy, where did this all start for you?
It started quite a long time ago when I first started to get into spiritual things. I'm the child of 2 scientists. So I didn't grow up with any spiritual belief. Our belief system was scientific method. You know, there wasn't a God. They weren't atheists, but we didn't ever think that way.
Boy,
So
Thanksgiving must be big at your house.
well, both my parents unfortunately have passed now,
I'm
but
sorry.
we really didn't celebrate Christmas or anything else with it. That just wasn't who we were. You know, we were scientists. So it took me a while of moving through my life to find out there was something different that was operating there and to seek
Yeah.
those spiritual things. And so originally I sought through shamanism, which I really enjoyed and thought was fabulous and wonderful. But there was a point in time when I found a teacher in India, Sri Kaleshwar, and it was, you know, quite one of those weird stories where I had a friend who told me, hey, you need to look up this guy on the internet. And I thought, oh, yeah, sure, that sounds fine. And I had another psychic friend who said, but you're going to meet a man who can manifest fire in his hands. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay, good, that might happen. And so I go to the website for this guy because I think, I got to look this guy up. And it used to have a scrolling set of pictures that ran. And the very first picture was Sri Kaleshwar there with fire coming out of the palm of his hand. And I sat there stunned, waited for that whole series to go back through again to try and see that picture again. It never came up again. Now, okay, I can take a hint when I get one. So I thought, okay, I really do have to go see this guy. I went to India, and it was nothing I'd ever done before. It was mantras and meditation, and I just, you know, I was out of my element in the moment. But when I came home, my clients who I was working with in a shamanic way said, wow, the energy you're giving me is so much higher. What did you do? So I kept going back to this ashram, trying to, and doing the process as much as they seemed foreign and weird to me at first, these mantras, I did them anyway. And then about 2 years into that, I was sitting in the lecture hall there, the Mandir, and he started a lecture on the womb chakra. And I just wept through the entire thing. I knew it was the information I had been looking for. to empower my women clients, to bring enlightenment to the soul of everyone, including children in the womb and even children growing up. This was everything I looked for in my life was being talked about there as an ancient practice, clearly pre-written in the palm leaf books of India, with clear and definable processes you could do that were as powerful as the one I was doing that made my clients say, hey, wow, whatever you're doing, go do it again. These clear, definable processes that would empower that womb, heal that womb from diseases or issues, bring fertility to wombs that were having difficulty with that, and bring enlightenment energy to children in the womb. No wonder I wept all the way through it. I still feel like weeping.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, if you weren't crying, I would be a little concerned as to the person that you are. You know, it's so much. Like our minds, we really can't even wrap around it to make sense of it. But to be able to be open to that idea and what it even does for the child. But let's start with what it does for the person to even start healing that. And how does that all work?
Okay, so
and Cindy, before you go there, yeah. I want to, because I don't want to forget this, and I'm not as young as I used to be at any given time. But and this is for everybody that is listening. If you have something deep in your heart that you don't know what to do with it, and you're thinking about it all the time, and somebody comes up to you and says, I think you should do this. Don't poo-poo it. Don't disregard it. Yeah. Take it seriously, because that could very well be a message from the divine, from the universe. And so when you had this in your heart and that person came to you and said, you need to go do this, and you did, that changed everything. And that is a lesson for all of us to learn, that don't disregard people that are trying to tell you positive things of how they understand what you're going through, and that they can help you. And are you still in contact with this person?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Because I had that happen and they went away. And I haven't talked to them in 20 years. But anyway, so Rochelle, continue. I just wanted to get that out, because it's a teaching moment for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up and mentioning that, Kevin. I think it's so natural and normal for me to almost be paying extra attention that I forget. You know, some of us are just, we have these things right in front of us, Cindy, and we don't even know they're there. We don't know what they're for. We don't know why. And sometimes if it doesn't make sense, it's easier to just kind of forget about it. So I do agree with that 100%. I am so thankful that you decided to follow that and chase it, because of what it's been able to help you do here. So just to break it open and start, what is womb healing?
So let's say, what is a womb chakra?
Okay, yeah.
Because
Perfect.
If people go Googling this on the internet afterwards, womb chakra, there's a lot of misinformation. Some people say it's the second chakra. It's not. It's a very separate, highly powerful place, which is inside women physically. But men have sort of the fragrance of that, and they can also purify their womb chakra. They can also clear it. But in order to access the womb chakra energy, they have to connect into the womb of their mother, which they were in at that before, and have pure love on a woman. And that can be their mother. They can have the pure love on their mother. So it is a power point in us, a chakra, but a power point in us that has access to our soul energy, which is super important, because it is the soul energy that we want to bring forward, that enlightenment energy in us, that peace of God in us is going to drive our life in the right direction. It is going to bring the divine energies we need for creating our life, but for also creating our children. Now, the other place that accesses the heart is the heart, accesses the soul energy as well. But it is accessed in the womb chakra. Now, the important part about that is that when a woman has carrying a child in her body, she is not only body to body connected with that child, she is soul to soul connected. The two are one. And just think about, pull that in for a second. That for any of us in this world, that is the closest we have ever been to another human being. That moment of soul union with another human being doesn't really happen again in this lifetime. So it's a magical place, this womb, where two souls can be that deeply connected. But for our own soul, this womb chakra has another thing that it connects to that is amazing. It connects into the creation energy of the womb of all creation, as I said before. It connects into a high power of divine feminine energy, of divine creation energy. And when we connect that energy to our soul, which can be done in that womb chakra, because the womb chakra has both those connections, then we become empowered like ancient goddesses were empowered. We become empowered from that ultimate, eternal energy of creation.
That's amazing.
Now, okay, so that's a womb chakra. So if we
Okay, wait. Save this. We have to take our first quick break. And when we come back, I want you to explain fully what you're about to say. So if you're listening to this and you have questions, you want to follow along and see her stuff, go to wombhealing.com. That's WOMB healing.com. And Kevin, I have another idea for a point to ponder we need to create, but I'll let you pick up for the first break.
We'll do this one because you are that person that is creating a light for the world. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. In a dark room, a single candle was lit. That tiny flame chased away the shadows, filling the space with hope. Your courage, your kindness, and your light may seem small at times, but it can change someone's entire world. Never underestimate the power you already carry inside. Even the smallest flame can ignite a fire that transforms lives. You are listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. And welcome back to Positive Talk. We've got a great show going for you today, and Rochelle's going to give you the website one more time, and then she's going to ask Cindy a question or 15.
Yeah. So people go and follow along with our conversation at wombhealing.com. And Cindy, you were about to say the other part of the womb
Sorry,
chakra
but I'm not
is...
hearing Rochelle.
No.
You're not hearing Rochelle? Well, but Rochelle, go out and then come back in.
Okay, will you ask her what she was about to say so we can move forward?
Yeah.
Okay,
Continue
perfect.
on before we went on the break, Cindy. Continue on with because I want everybody to know we think in terms of chakras as being the 7 chakras. If there are actually many more within the body than just those 7, and so that's part. And the womb chakra is one of those.
Yes.
And so continue with what you were saying.
Well, so that womb chakra, that amazing womb chakra that's connected both to your soul energy and to the energy of everything that is, that everything that ever was and everything that ever will be. When we can empower that with particular formulas, those ones that were from the ancient palm leaf books, when we can bring energy to that womb chakra, it becomes able to make those connections easily and purely. So we want to be able to pull off any negativity that's there in the womb chakra. We need to cleanse and purify that. There are practices for doing that. And then we need to empower it to utilize that soul energy and utilize that connection in to the divine energy that is of all things. Now, purifying the womb chakra also means purifying a lot of things that happen in women's lives. You know, there are all sorts of sexual abuse and sexual negativity and abuse of the feminine and so on. And unfortunately, this is our history as a people. And it unfortunately affects very many women, even in modern times, and especially in modern times in some ways. And even heartbreak can affect the womb chakra. So, and how many heartbreaks have we had? You know, like if you've had that heartbreak after heartbreak, you've dulled, you've affected that womb chakra's ability to connect into your soul energy and into the divine energy. So the purification and healing has to move away those layers of things, as well as any kind of physical ailment that you may have.
And Priscilla, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me, Cindy?
I still don't hear her.
Oh my gosh,
Rochelle,
this
I
is
want so
not
much to talk to you,
happening.
sweetheart.
I love you. Okay, Kevin, I don't know what we're supposed to do, but
I know
ask her another question.
that when you have this womb chakra activated, my darling, there's no stopping you, because you are an amazing powerhouse on this show, and I'm sure in your life as well.
Thank you.
And Cindy, I wanted to mention this because when you are connected as intimately as you're connected with a baby in your womb, I believe wholly and completely, and let me ask you your opinion of this, is that that child and you had a connection before they actually became part of you, and that they were planning on you being their mother and being part of them, and that's the soul connection that happens long before the physical connection actually happens. Is that true?
Very often that's true. And in fact, both parents might have a soul connection to that child.
Yes.
And oftentimes parents are what we call soulmates to their children. Now, oftentimes when we talk about soulmates in modern culture, we kind of think of lovers or something. But soulmates are actually those kinds of people you were just talking about, Kevin, who have known each other in previous lifetimes, who have found a resonance with one another in previous lifetimes, who have stood to help one another and understand one another in previous lifetimes, and who find each other again in this lifetime. And so many parents are actually soulmates to their children.
Exactly. And so Brichelle, if she can't hear you, I can. So
Okay.
I will translate for the question from you to her. How about that?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. That works. Because I really want to know about the inside the womb too, like the energy shift that happens within the mother, and how the soul is able to connect and then be separated after you're born, but it's not ever really separated, like ever, right?
And she wants to know what happens within the womb, that during the pregnancy process, because you're part of each other and you've got a soul connection. But even after the baby is born, that soul connection exists. Did I say that right, Prichelle?
Perfect.
Correct. She's right. Even after the baby is born, that soul connection goes on. It goes on for the entire lifetime of the child. Even if the mother has passed away, there's still that soul connection between mother and child. That's how intense a soul bonding like that in the womb is. That those souls are not broken apart just because mother dies or because child dies, which I know is for some women a very important understanding, because they may have lost a child in their lifetime. So that connection is always there. It is always there. And likely one of those soulmate connections that will come back around in another lifetime.
Yeah.
It's from. Go
Will
ahead,
you
Prichelle.
ask her about what about miscarriage and not having the baby physically, but it being connected to you, and does the same soul come back, or is it a different soul?
What about miscarriages? If you are unfortunate enough to have miscarriages, and will the same soul keep coming back until it's born, or is there a different soul if you have multiple miscarriages?
It could be both ways. Sometimes the same soul does come back. we tend to believe that the soul is not yet in the womb until 90 to 101 days of gestation.
Mhm.
So if many women have very early miscarriages and they're really that the soul has not connected in yet. That doesn't mean the soul hasn't identified her and decided that they want to be the baby of that mama. That's very possible. But if that soul connection is there, like if those parents are soulmates to that child, I think it's likely that that child would come back around.
Okay. And Kevin, my last question, I have to ask this. Is it predestined of how many children you're supposed to have and how many souls you choose to connect with?
Is it predestined how many souls that you are supposed to, how many children you're supposed to have, and how many souls are involved with that?
Well, I don't know from the teachings that I've had whether that is predestined or not. I tend to believe personally that it is not predestined, that this is a participatory universe in which we engage from our desires for the number of children we want with the possibilities of soul energy that are infinite. So it doesn't have to have an end. It doesn't have to have a number, which is why I tend to believe there isn't some pre-specified amount. But my teachings don't actually tell me that for sure. That's me surmising from what I see.
Well, it does make sense.
And she says, well, it does make sense. And what we're going to do now is, Rochelle, we're going to take our halftime break a little early so that you can go out and then maybe come back in, and hopefully
I did notice that last time it fixed it when Cindy went out and came back in. So maybe we'll both try it at the same time. See what happens.
And she said, well, maybe if Cindy and I both go out and then come back in, maybe that will solve the problem. And so we're going to take this break, and we'll be back in a minute and a half. And if I'm by myself, I'll do a song and dance and entertain you until they come back. Something which would be, never mind. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
You're listening to Brushwood Media Network, the best in syndicated talk, news, and entertainment shows.
Are you looking for your daily dose of inspiration? Stay connected to all your favorite shows, music, and news with the Brushwood Media Network app. From Positive Talk Radio to Greatest Vibes Unplugged and so many more uplifting voices around the world, everything you need is right in one place. It's easy to use, too. Always available and designed to keep you inspired 24 hours a day. Go to brushwoodmedianetwork.com and download the app, and you will always have Brushwood Media available on your smartphone. Download it now and make inspiration and music and conversation part of your everyday. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. A woman spent years hating the reflection in her mirror. One day, she whispered, "I am enough." Day by day, her reflection became her friend. Self-love begins with the words you tell yourself. Speak gently, because you are listening. This is brought to you by Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. And welcome back to Positive Talk. My name is Kevin McDonald. Rochelle will be here in just a second. And speaking of the witch, here she is. And Rochelle.
Can you hear me?
Yay! Do you hear me?
Yes. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so we're not taking any more breaks for the rest of the show because I don't want to have any more trouble with this. Because Rochelle, you've got a tremendous amount of things that I know you want to touch on. And one of the things that I would like to just mention, because most guys have no idea what it's like when a woman is going through her monthly cycle. I'm learning to call it Hell Week because I asked my sister about this, and because I wasn't aware, and she said, "Oh yeah, my niece used to pass out sometimes because of the intense pain that she would experience." And most guys, just take a Midol and you'll be fine. What's the matter with you, you wimp? They don't get it. So for all my men friends out there, be kind, because it hurts like a son of a gun. So, and Cindy?
Well, and for some women, it is painful. That's true. And yet, for all women, the elements in her body are going out of balance. That the shift between fire and water in the body is what creates the menstrual cycle. And so, and it is also in a deep imbalance position when during menstruation. So we're sitting in this world where, our fire, our anger, our excitement, our thing is going up and down, where our water, our tenderness, our tears, our sensitivity is going up and down. So that's part of what's happening for women, is that they are literally bodily experiencing a creation cycle in them that is putting them through the kind of the emotional attachments that we have to those imbalances in the elements in us. One of the good things about purifying the womb chakra is that it can help us learn how to stay even and clear even though our elements are going in and out of balance. So that's actually, I think, a positive learning that we can go through with the empowerment of the womb chakra.
Well, and Kevin, thank you so much for bringing that up. Cindy, I have to ask you, is there a way that we as women of any age, especially starting early, I could imagine is helpful, things that we can be doing, maybe some certain focuses or energies or frequencies, anything during that cycle every month that can help us be in tune and heal that so that we can prepare beforehand so we're not passing all of it on to our children?
Yes, there's some wonderful things that you can do.
Good.
And one of them, it's hard to do in modern society. In ancient societies, women stayed by themselves or with other women during their cycle, and they were able to stay in a relative peace, not exposed to all of the brouhaha and negativity of the world. Because when we're in that cycle, we are releasing the uterus has these circulating veins. So and it is those veins that are contracting when you have a menses. So you are exiting the blood, which already is this unbalance between fire and water, but you also have this squeezing thing going on there that's like wringing out a sponge. Well, what happens when you wring out a sponge? The next thing it experiences, it takes in. So we can think about that as a very delicate time for a woman to not expose herself to all the negativities of the world, to stay in a quiet place. But we can't do that in modern life, like we can't call into work and say, sorry, but I need to spend 3 days on by myself. It's not going to work for us. So what do we do? Well, the best thing to do is to try and create that around you so that you have positive people that you can be with, so that you are not having to do the heavy negative stuff during that time. You might have been put off doing the calling of the taxes and whatever at that point, but be able to try and create that to some extent for yourself is good. Beyond that, there are practices from those ancient palm leaf books again that can help us energize and clear the elements in us. And when we have energized those elements within us, then we are less likely to be thrown out of balance by that cycle. And the last thing that we can do is give ourselves huge amounts of unconditional love. Love is that soul energy. Love is that innate nature of ourselves. And when we purify the womb chakra and we have access to that soul energy, and when we have open hearts and we have access to that soul energy, we are pouring out a divine substance. And who needs it more than ourselves? We should be pouring it on ourselves, making connections into those divine energies, making connections into our soul energy, and using it to love ourselves.
Well, Cindy, I want to share with you, today is my grandma's 2-year death anniversary. I have been crying unconditionally, and grief is confusing, right? But I can feel her so much more when I don't know how it happens. I don't know when it is. There's maybe some days, some weeks at times, but today, I feel her so much through that. It feels like I'm going through a cycle almost, how everything is just all over the place. but are we connected all the way back through? So that's why I feel her and connect to her the way I do, and maybe even beyond her that is within our family through the
Well, I think
women.
it's possible that you and Grandma were soulmates. That's possible. And also at a biological level, even the eggs that produced you were in your mother when she was in her mother's womb. So I don't know if this is your maternal grandmother.
It isn't, but that's why I'm asking, because there is a different feeling though, and I have totally been more aware of that recently. The feeling of my maternal grandmother and then from my dad's side, it is different.
Yeah, we had different relationships with both souls. But you know, those grandmothers and grandfathers, I think they're still looking after your parents, and they're still looking after probably you too.
Oh, yes.
That's the nature of those soul relationships, is that they last. And when we can connect into those souls, we have a whole cheering section out there, because whoever they were in life, there's some late state of enlightenment they've reached as when they've passed that is different from what their personality may have been in life.
Mhm.
They're at the soul level. And a mother's soul is always there to support, and you can even connect into her womb chakra. But grandparents and passed away fathers are also divine energies in our lives.
That makes sense. Kevin, do you have a question?
Well, first of all, I have a comment, and
Okay.
that is this. I know that you feel deeply connected to your grandmother, and she loves you dearly, and she wants you to be happy. She doesn't want you to grieve for her because she is happy. And I understand the sadness that you may feel because, and this is for everybody that's out there. I understand the sadness you feel because they're not physically here, but they're always here with you. Cindy, is that true?
That is absolutely true. And love doesn't die. Love is eternal. That energy is a soul energy, and it is especially experienced by souls who are no longer in the body. And they can send love so clearly to you, Brichelle, and just receive it.
Okay,
Because
I will do that. And for everybody else listening, I'm right there with you. I understand more than you could possibly know. I just am able to maybe show my face and smile through it because my life is so beautiful and my grandma gets to see it. She gets to be here. and that's really all I need. I know she's here. I see her. I feel her. I hear her. And you mentioned something about when you said healing and we're talking about death, but what about life? In your website, you have a section that is pinpointed healing illness. So is that illness, can it be healed from outside of us in our mother's womb by connecting to her? Or is it just within?
well, illness comes for a number of reasons in life.
Okay.
We like to say that everything that comes in a lifetime has to do with your karma.
Mhm.
So karma is an interesting little kind of notion. So let me just explain it for a second. It is an energy field that is created by the actions and reactions of everything we've ever done, and possibly in past lives as well, if you believe in past lives. So you have an energy field that's on you that is connected to all your actions and reactions. Of course, some of those in your life were positive and wonderful. Those are positive karma. And some of those in your life were negative and difficult and traumatic, and that's negative karma. Karma travels with the soul, so that each lifetime you have karma that you create in this lifetime, but you also have karma from previous lifetimes. So when a soul enters here, we enter into a world that is kind of like a huge manifesting machine for karma. It is a big mirror to our own energy. It is a participatory universe. Our energy draws to us the energy that we will experience in our life. And so that energy of karma is on us. And we come into this world and it manifests because it draws to us from this world the experiences that we're going to have, including illness. So one of the ways to affect illness through womb chakra is that because the karmas pass along with the soul, and the soul can be accessed through that womb chakra, you can give very powerful healings to any illness by giving that power to the soul to overcome the karma. And understanding that karma is usually takes a nice healer to help you do that. But sometimes you know in your own heart why that's coming to you. You have that sense of it. When I had breast cancer, I had the deep sense that it came to me so that I could really understand and receive nurturing from the universe, from the world, from my friends. That was my deepest sense of it. And so I worked on doing that and letting them care for me during my breast cancer. But even if you don't know what it is, if you can work with empowering your soul to understand it. And when the soul gets the lesson, the illness doesn't need to exist.
And Cindy, I have to ask you, because your parents were dedicated scientists and they've both passed on now.
Yes.
And I firmly believe I have been part of many psychic medium readings. And I know that what they do is true. Have you ever had the feeling or the contact with them that they're like, oh, okay, I guess we were wrong because that's not how it is. And it's really the end. So it's like, Cindy, dear child, you were right the whole time. Have you ever had that confirmation?
They've never said, darn, you were right the whole time. But even a couple of days ago, I was lying in bed in the morning and thinking about being on this radio show. And my mother popped into my mind and said, hey, kid, just be you. Which is something she used to say a lot because she believed in me. So, yeah, I do have some confirmation that who I am right now is okay with me.
And it's more than okay. They are extraordinarily proud of the woman that you are and that you are able to help so many other women who they don't have the awareness yet. And that awareness through you can happen then through the womb chakra. And I did want to mention this too. If you don't believe in past lives, I got a problem. I got a solution for you. Go to a hypnotherapist, go to somebody, because I can only tell you this. We're here for such a short time, 70, 80, 90 years if we're lucky. The Earth has been here for 4.5 billion years. The universe has been here for 16 billion years. So that's a long time. And our mission is, if you listen to all the great thinkers of today, our mission is to learn that the Earth is a school, according to Gary Zukav and Neil Donald Walsh. It's a school for us to learn, for us to manifest a better life, for us to continue on, because our soul is eternal, because it's energy, according to Einstein and Tesla. And so consequently, because it's energy that does not die and it stays with us, we continue to learn. And that's the whole premise that we're on. So it's not a matter of your soul was created when you were born and your soul goes to heaven and sits on a cloud. It's a lot more complex than that. Do you believe that, Cindy?
Well, not only are we not just bodies that happen to have a soul, we are souls who came here on a mission. We came here to learn. We came here to grow our own soul light. And since our piece of light is a part of the entire energy of light of the universe, to increase the light that is in everything. We are here on a mission to learn, and how we learn is that karmic play. Those karmas are present in our lives, the exact things we need to learn at the soul level in order to grow our light. So we're thankful for karma, even though it brings us some illnesses and we have to deal with it and we have to face it. But the real trick with karma is that if you can face it from the soul, that is, if you can meet it with non-attachment to the anger, the pain, the wounds, the negativities that are there, and instead meet it with unconditional love, with acceptance, with compassion, that you win that karma. You shift that karma on you to a positive karma from a negative karma. And that's part of what we're doing when we're empowering your soul through the womb chakra, is to meet that in a different way. And in fact, I want to tell you a couple of stories if I can. If I could just
Please.
Please.
Okay, so when we're talking about these children who, if mothers do particular practices while the child is in the womb, that energy goes straight to the child's soul. So they can receive this enlightenment level energy in their souls. And so, you say, okay, well, that's great, but what's the effect of that? Well, let me tell you at least one story, and I have a million of them, so I could tell you more. One is a little baby boy who had received these energies while he was in the womb of his mother. And he was born, and they happened to have a family friend who was going through opioid withdrawal. And she wanted desperately to see this child that had just been born, but she was complete and utter wreck. She was shaking. She could barely stand up. She was a total mess going through this opioid withdrawal. And still she decided, no, I'm going to make it there. Even if they just have to plop me in a corner, I'm going to make it there. I'm going to see this child. So when she came to see the child, it was only a few days old at that point. They came, she did sit, just trying to hold herself upright in a chair in the corner. And they brought her the child. As soon as that child, our little divine, enlightened soul child, was in her arms, she felt no negative symptoms. In fact, she felt pure, utter joy. And she was stunned. She didn't want to let go of the baby, I can tell you that. She was stunned. She was stunned, and she just was sitting there weeping and feeling absolutely fine, in fact, joyous. Now, the child did not take on that for her. It was the light of that soul was so strong that it overpowered those negative symptoms, because when they did take the child away from her, the symptoms did return. However, she glimpsed a moment in time when she knew she could be somebody other than that person who was on those opioids and in that withdrawal. And that friend of the family has been clean and sober for 10 or 12 years.
Yay.
And just from the power of the soul of that child, even days after birth, that power was so strong that it overwhelmed what was going on in that woman's body to bring her a state of that peace of that soul energy.
That's an amazing story. And Rochelle, since we're not going to take any more breaks, I did want to get the word out about her website and how to reach her and stuff, because that's vitally important.
Yes. Go to wombhealing.com. That is WOMB healing.com. She's got everything there, from healing illness, empowering your womb chakra, to awaken your divine feminine power from within. Cindy, thank you so much for spending this time with us. And before we go, I have to ask you, just for clarity for people who may be listening, when you do dive into this womb healing energy and you break some of those karmic patterns and things like that, does that also transform your soul for its future lives?
Absolutely. This energy that we're using in this system, it's not just psychological, it's not just doing it for your body. It is a soul mechanism. It is empowering the soul, and the soul will take that power through the lifetime and into other lifetimes.
Perfect. Kevin?
I want to point this out, Rochelle, because I just got this. Rochelle and Cindy, I want your opinion on this. Rochelle's been with me a little over 2 years now. And we met through a coach, and we did not know each other. She's in Salt Lake. I'm in Seattle. The chances of us ever meeting, because she's young and I'm not, and stuff. And so we never would have met. But I believe that it was karmically and it was soul level done. And I believe that your spirit guides, including your grandmother, had a conversation with my dad and my spirit guides, and they conspired to bring us together to create a team that is, in my world, a phenomenal team
Yeah.
And it is, but that was a divine design from the other side to guide us together, as well as the fact that I've known you many lives before.
Yes. Well, and on top of that, we said yes, right, Cindy? Things can happen, right? That's where free will's got to kick into play, because if you say no, the outcome of what you can experience is different than if you say yes. Me and Kevin both said yes, give us more, we're ready. And we found each other. If we wouldn't have said yes, that may not have happened this lifetime, right?
Absolutely. And when you start living a soul-centered life, those things start to pop up to you all the time. You have to stay care of them.
It's
know?
friggin' amazing. It really
It's
is.
crazy. It's like magic.
And it really is, and it's not what do you call it? It's not coincidence. That's, oh boy, I am getting old. It's not coincidence. It is by karmic design, and all you have to do is trust and say yes. And that's why working with Cindy would just trust what she says. She knows what she's talking about. She's been doing this for 35 years, since she was 5. And so she's been doing this a long time, and she's very gifted at what she does. Rochelle, if they want to go to her website again, what is it?
Go to wombhealing.com. And Cindy, what is the other best way for people to contact and work with you, and ways to find you?
They can email me at cindy@divinemothercenter.org.
Perfect.
And by the way, your mother was absolutely correct. Just be you.
Yep. Isn't that powerful? And a lot of us, that's what we're fighting, Cindy, is being ourselves.
Absolutely.
So when you open up the womb, it's like you accept yourself fully, right?
Absolutely. And that soul self, that is the truth of you. You are an eternal, enlightened being at the soul level. And when you empower that through this womb chakra, your life can be that. You can see yourself that way. And others begin to feel that energy from you. And your life transforms. And as you keep saying yes to it, it transforms more and more.
Yes, I agree.
And what some people may still not get is, because we are all energy and we are all souls, and we can come from the same source. We are all connected. We are all one. And when we are mean to somebody else, we're being mean to ourselves. When we're not being kind to other people, we're not being kind to ourselves, because we are all connected. So it's not a matter of there is no other. There is just us. And if we treated each other like they are our soul sister and brother, the world would change. Do you agree with that, Cindy?
The world would not only change, but our own inner self would change. Because when we act from beauty, when we act for kindness, we are connecting into the truth of who we are. And do we have time for one more little story about these children?
You do.
Because it kind of speaks to this, in that there is a child who was in first grade, I think it was. And he had just come into a new first grade classroom. He's a little divine child. He received these energies in the womb of his mom. And the parents didn't know, and he didn't know, that in this classroom was another child who was very, very disturbed and had intense rages. I mean, just screaming, flailing, intense rages. And they had been trying to work with it. The teacher, the parents, everybody had been trying to work with it, but everybody had worn thin, and the children were in fear of it. And even the teacher was a little stunned and unable to know what to do at this point with this child who was having these rages. Our little divine child came into the classroom, and one day the other child had this rage. Everybody was stunned and backing away and shaking and doing all the things that they sort of been developed over time. And our little divine child just walked slowly towards the other one, saying, with his hands out like this, saying, "It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." And as he came closer, the other child would get a little upset, but that he would just stand there for a moment. "It's okay. It's okay." Until he was standing right next to him, and the other child was calmed down. The teacher was so stunned, obviously, she immediately told the parents what she had seen there. As it turned out, they ended up being friends, and the child had very few rages after that, and eventually calmed down completely. just from having that love from another person that wasn't scared to do it, because that little divine child knew we're all one. They could feel that in their own being. There was no grand philosophy there. It was just knowing that that other child in pain, that he would walk towards that with love, and that somehow would be okay. It's okay. It's okay. So when we understand our soul energy, when it's energized in us, we naturally act that way, Kevin. We naturally go towards things with love, even the other people shaking their boots around.
And how powerful is that if we could do that to ourselves in moments where we feel that way?
Absolutely.
That is beautiful. I am so much more excited to have kids.
Well, and Cindy, I just have to say this too, because Samuel is listening, and Brachel is going to. He is a gentleman in Kenya who operates. Brachel, tell us a little bit about Samuel. And oh, wait a minute, he just commented in, and
Perfect timing.
he does it well.
Hi, Samuel. We love you. He says, greetings, brother Kevin, sister Brachel, and guest Cindy Lindsay, watching the program with my team from Kaibiria Restoring Hope Center, based in the slums of Nairobi, Kenya. This is our favorite program show. God bless the hosts, Kevin and Brachel. And Cindy, just so you know, he's feeding, getting ready for, in a few hours, it'll be Saturday morning there, and he feeds 370 children and their parents in the mornings on Saturday. And so you guys know I'll be tuned. I love you so much. And Samuel understands at some level of when you're in tune with your purpose and your passion, that's your womb healing inside when you heal others, right?
Bless you, Samuel. To feed people who need it is a sacred act.
Yep.
People don't hear philosophy about spirituality if they're hungry. So
Yeah.
bless you.
Well, and the interesting thing about that, Cindy, is he was one of those 370 kids when he was growing up. And he was just trying to survive day by day, trying to do the best he could. And he is now taken on the mission that no child goes to bed hungry, not on his watch, because we're all connected. And I just honor him, the work he does, and I hope it becomes a worldwide phenomenon, because people like him are why this show exists, and people like you are why the show exists. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
My complete pleasure.
Cindy, we love you. Please share again your website, your email, any ways for people to contact you and your information.
Wombhealing.com and Cindy, CINDY, at divinemothercenter.org.
Perfect.
And you can go there if you would like to get more connected with who you really are. And even if you're a dude, dudes can do this too, but they just have to show love, which I know for dudes is a little tough sometimes.
But it's
For
possible.
women, for pregnant women, for women who have issues with fertility, for all women, and for all men. There are classes there. Please take a look.
Love that.
And if nothing else, if you are a dude, you can at least understand what, I get when I was younger, and some guy would say, oh man, it's that week again, so she's lost her mind. And guys used to say that all the time. And I now understand why, the process of what is happening. So please give your significant other some grace, and take the load off of her, and let her take some time for herself, because there's a lot of crap going on in that body of hers. And so you just give them grace, and and love them the way that you can, guys, and take care of them, and take the burden off them, because that's important. And is that good, Cindy?
Every woman should be seen as the Divine Mother, for she is a creator. And when you see her as the Divine Mother, then you understand that there is power there that is flourishing when it is loved.
And Rochelle, we have to go, but you get to take us out because you do this so good.
Yes, well, unfortunately, I suppose we can move on. Thank you, Kevin, for making all of this possible to have this conversation with Cindy. Cindy, you are so inspirational. Thank you for learning this work, being willing to do it, for sharing it with so many across the globe. I am so thankful that there's something that we know is possible there, because a lot of us women are pretty confused as to why we even are the way we are. We just understand maybe our parents and we make those ties. But I would love to keep updated with all the work that you're doing. If you ever have anything coming up, please come back and see us on the show. Are you willing to do that?
I'd be happy to.
Perfect. Well, until next time with Cindy, everybody, we love you so absolute much. You deserve the chance to go and learn about this. If you are human, this is for you. So visit wombhealing.com, and we love you. So we'll see you again soon for another amazing show.
Brilliant. Simply brilliant. Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.